Hi, this is Greg from Asus ROG, and in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to upgrade your ROG Huracan G21 gaming desktop. The Huracan is a high-performance mini PC that you can take home and start gaming with right away. In its stock configuration, it has an Intel Core i7 8700 CPU, an NVIDIA GTX 1080, 16 GB of DDR4 memory at 2666 MHz, a 512 GB M.2 SSD, and a 1 TB HDD. Now those are some great specs for a mini PC, and it should be enough for most people to play most games. But technology does change, and if down the road you ever want to upgrade the GPU, the memory, or the storage, we've made it incredibly easy with this system. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and we'll take these side panels off. We'll start by removing this screw here to open the magnetic side panel. This allows access to the screw holding the entire side panel on. The side panel can fold back to allow for more airflow in here. You can also set it up like this. But what we want to do is reveal this screw here. It helps to use a magnetic screwdriver here to be able to pull out the screw. It's really tiny. Then we slide the panel forward, and it should come off pretty easily. Don't forget to unplug this small power cable. On the inside of the side panel, there's a perforated cover that we're actually going to remove to allow for more airflow to the internal components and give us a better view inside the system when the magnetic side panel is open. Now next we're going to remove the GPU bracket. Now to remove that, first we need to remove this rear panel here, and that's held in place with 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one is on the top here. Now the GPU bracket is held in place by 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got the 4 screws out. Now before removing it, make sure to unplug this cable right here. And go ahead and press this down there, pull straight up. Before removing the GPU, make sure to unplug this cable. First thing we need to do is remove the PCIe L bracket. Then there's 4 screws that hold this in place. There's 2 down the bottom here, and then there's 2 on the end here. Slide off like that. Now this bracket only works with turbo cards like you see here and Founders Edition cards. Then to put the new card in, you just reverse the process. All right, next we'll go ahead and replace the M.2. Now this is in there just like it would be on any other motherboard. So to remove it, you just need to unscrew this single screw. Make sure we don't lose it. And it's almost like spring-loaded. It pops up and you can take it right out. New one, just make sure you have that notch lined up with the notch. There we go. So now that we've got the M.2 SSD in there, why don't we go ahead and pop on the rear panel. Just kind of push it on and it will snap into place. And then we finish it off with the 4 screws. So next we'll put on the side panel. Okay, so here's the bottom edge. I like to line that up first. Leave about 1/4 inch of space on this side. So you just kind of line that up like that. So you got the 1/4 inch. Just make sure it's flush and flat, and then push it together. So now we'll go ahead and lock the side panel in place with this screw here. There we go. Next, we'll remove the other side panel to reveal the memory and storage. And to do that, we need to start by removing this screw here. So we remove that to reveal that screw. Okay, and just push it towards, should come right out. So now we can see we've got our 3.5 inch HDD, we've got our disk drive, our 2.5 inch hot swap bay, our SODIMMs, and an additional 2.5 inch drive bay. So these SODIMMs are just like the ones you'd find in a high performance laptop, and they're held in place just by 2 clips. You open them up, top one comes out, open this one up, bottom one comes out. And then they go back in the same exact way. So you kind of insert them at a 45-degree angle, push them down, and they clip into place. You also got to make sure that these notches are lined up with the notches in the socket there. All right, the next thing we're going to replace is this 3.5 inch hard drive. We're going to go for a little bit of a bigger one. And this is just held in place by this single screw here, and that'll remove this whole bracket. So let's start by unplugging this. And the whole thing just slides forward and comes out. So this whole bracket will hold the hard drive in place. Just remove these 4 screws, take the drive out. I'm going to replace it with this 10 terabyte Barracuda Pro. Now the next thing I want to add is a 1 terabyte, 2.5-inch SSD. There's 2 ways of doing it. First, there's the hot swap bay here, and that's pretty easy. There's a little door on top that opens up, and this will just go in like that. There you go. But if you want a more permanent way of installing this, there's also a bracket here. The only issue here is that you'll need to purchase additional SATA and power cables to use the extra ports. However, you can also relocate the hot swap SATA and power cables, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'll go ahead and replace the side panel, and just like the front panel, you have to line up these little hooks with these slots. Let's go ahead and do that. Leave about a 1/4 inch on this side, make sure it's all flush, and then push it forward. And there we go. So you can see the ROG Huracan G21 is pretty darn easy to upgrade, especially for an off-the-shelf mini PC. Now, if you have any questions about this system or any of our other ROG products, please reach out to us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/asus.n.america. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.